Hi everyone, Kashia here from Politely Rebellious. We really enjoyed recording series 1 and I wanted to just say hi and welcome to series 2 of the Being Politely Rebellious in Pompey video podcast. We have if it's even possible to say, we have another incredible lineup of individuals who are coming on to cement our stories in history, letting us in on their politely rebellious journeys that they've had throughout their lives and careers. As I mentioned on series 1, one of the really important things that we want to generate here is inspiration, inspiring others as to what you can achieve when you put your mind to it and you punch your way past the obstacles that can often be set out before us. So please enjoy series 2 as you have done series 1. Please remember to like, subscribe and share. Without that happening, we can't be here. So, like, subscribe and share. Enjoy the series.
I don't care who I fight, I just know I've got a little bit more to beat him. I'll do what I need to do to win. And I proved that in my last fight. Because he was a very good boxer, he was strong, more experience, and I'll still beat him. If my dad wasn't in my life, then I don't know what I'd be doing, to be honest.
It happens so often, doesn't it?
He always kept me
on a straight and narrow.
On a straight and narrow, really. Obviously I was a naughty kid, but I just think now, like, if I was a naughty kid with my dad in my life, if I didn't have a dad in my life, I don't know what I'd be doing. Like, I'm very proud to be from Portsmouth, to be honest, and I love it. And sometimes I'm just going around and I just feel like taking it for granted. I actually love it. I love Pompey, and like I can't ever see myself moving out of Portsmouth. Like, we're not far anyway.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Being Politely Rebellious in Pompey podcast. We are joined today by the incredible Lucas Ballingall, who is a pro boxer, IBF European welterweight champion, bringing the belts home, mate. How you doing?
All good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. How's life treating you?
All good. Just fought in May. Now she's looking to fight again now, so yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that didn't you fight with a broken wrist, or you were just recovering or something?
Yeah, so my luck in boxing has been terrible since I've been a pro, really.
How long have you been a pro now?
9 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
God.
Like, luckily.
You were only like 27, wasn't it?
Yeah, I turned pro at 8 years then. Yeah. No, I turned about 18. So yeah, 9 years. 9 years. Yeah. So I turned pro young, luckily.
Very young.
So I've had a lot of bad luck in my career, but just because I turned pro young,
I'm
still like not even in my prime yet. So, but yeah, so I've had so much bad luck, and I was waiting for a fight to be announced. And the same week the fight was getting announced, so I injured my wrist. So
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what did you do about that? Did you like keep it a secret, or did you just fight through it?
So what it was, because I've been waiting for a fight for so long, I didn't realise, but I was out the ring for like about 10 months, which is a long time to be inactive. And it just creeps up. It's just so I was waiting for ages for a fight to be made, and then I was training hard, and then this fight got I was going to get announced. And I was sparring. I was in the gym sparring, and that's when I done my wrist.
That's how you done it. Oh my goodness. Were you sparring with like a friend or?
Just another pro boxer. I think we've done 10 rounds. Within like the 6th round, something happened, and I felt something.
Oh, thank you.
And I went back to the corner and said,
was it your main hand as well?
It was my
like your main punching hand.
Yeah, my right hand. So it's my strong hand, but it was annoying. The problem was I carried on sparring. I carried on sparring when I probably shouldn't have. But obviously I'm a fighter, so I wasn't going to
your pride as well, isn't it?
I wasn't going to pull out. Like, we were doing 10 rounds, so I made sure I finished the rounds, but just for, and then the fight got announced.
What was that?
I got told that the injury would be about 4 weeks, it would be back to normal. I thought, my fight's 8-9 weeks away. Not ideal, but
you'll be healed just in time, kind of thing.
The thing is, it's one hand. I've got another hand I can work on. Get fitter, I can run, I can do other stuff. Obviously, it's not ideal at all. But I wasn't going to pull out the fight because I don't know when I'm going to be waiting again for another opportunity. So I accepted the fight. Done what I needed to do. Trained.
Could you feel it still, like leading up to the fight? Did you just not tell anybody?
Didn't tell anyone.
Because I'm assuming, coaches or management or whatever might have told you to back out.
Yeah, 100%. But I just couldn't have my fight at the end of the day. Like, I know once I'm in that ring with adrenaline, I'm not going to feel it anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
Which luckily I didn't. Like, beforehand, it probably didn't feel the best, but in the ring, I was 100% in the ring.
And you won?
I won, yeah.
Did you win on points? Or?
I won on points, yeah. It was my first fight at welterweight, and it was against a good opponent. Like, it was definitely a step up for me.
Yeah.
I was a bookie's underdog.
So you went from being a lightweight for years.
I went from being a featherweight.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
To lightweight.
To welterweight now. Yeah. So
you skipped a whole category.
no, I kept going up.
Oh,
basically.
okay. I was gonna say you just like woke up one day like however many pounds
what it was, I turned pro at 18 and I was still a little boy. Like, I looked like a little boy anyway. I didn't fight like a little boy. But
I must admit, we'll show you some pictures. But you did look so young. Yeah.
A lot of people, when I first turned pro, people was thinking, "Oh, look at him, he's too young. He's too young." Which sometimes that is the case. Some people rush it too quick.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, my dad's always been part of the pro game. It's not like I was an amateur boxer for years, but I was always with the pros.
Yeah.
And I was in the gym training and sparring with the men, the pros, and holding my own. So we knew it was the right decision to turn pro young.
Okay.
And 18, I was vicious at 18. So
Really?
even though I look
You're
very
ready for it.
Yeah, even though I look very young, and
that's funny though, because that's probably really deceiving to your opponents, right?
Yeah.
They probably see you come into a ring, or they see pictures of you, or when you do the build up, like meets or whatever, and then you go at it. And just...
Like a few of my early fights, like after. So you build up your opposition, you fight. You start off with easier fights just to get yourself used to it, and then you build up. But like some of the early guys, I thought they had a look at me. They told me afterwards, like, "I saw you look like a little boy, so I thought I'm going to try and give it to you." And then after the first round, I think, "Whoa, I'm going to have to try and survive this one." Yeah, so that's what it was like. But
so was it a conscious decision to move up to welterweight?
Yeah, so. As boxers, we always want to be big for the weight.
Okay.
And because I turned pro at 18 and I was still a boy, I used to walk around, I was 9 stone all the time. I could eat, do what I want, I was still 9 stone, which is the featherweight limit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a big featherweight, I'm going to be featherweight for years, I'm going to win the British title featherweight. And then each year, I'm just filling out a little bit more. And then it's get harder to make the weight, so then when it gets harder, then it gets too hard, then you step up. So I went from featherweight, then it was super featherweight. I think I was supposed to fight for my first title at featherweight. Right. I was 19, and it was for the Southern Area title, and I would have been the youngest champion to win it that age. Like, I was winning the youngest, and then I broke my thumb in sparring.
Oh my goodness!
So my dad went, "Don't worry, you're young.
Yeah.
It don't matter. We're not in no rush." So we pulled out the fight.
Okay.
So that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I moved up to super featherweight after a while. Then I got a big fight offered to me at super featherweight. On BT Sport, and it was a big fight for me, and then my opponent got injured 3 weeks before the fight, so that didn't happen.
I see, this is making sense now what you say, loads of bad luck.
My luck has been terrible. Then I went up to lightweight, and then I was going to fight for the area title again at lightweight, and then I got injured.
Oh my God.
I broke my knuckle, so
that's probably the worst one you can do,
so I had to pull out that one.
Wow.
And then COVID hit and stuff like that. So
that is a lot of bad luck. But then you went in at welterweight, bish bash bosh.
Yeah, so the last 2 years, I'd say my luck's changed, and so obviously during COVID, I wasn't signed with no big promoter or anything. So if you weren't signed with a big promoter and you didn't have a TV contract, you couldn't fight. So only people who was fighting on TV could fight,
right?
Because obviously the small shows need a crowd to pay for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We've got a TV channel behind you. You didn't need to. So I was one of them fighters who couldn't fight.
Yeah.
And it was hard. And then I got offered to go out to Russia and fight.
Is that the recent one?
No, that was my first defeat I had.
Oh wow.
So I was undefeated. No one really wanted to fight me because I was undefeated and a bit unknown. People a bit
fearful of it, a bit wary. So you've never been knocked out, have you?
No.
That's like quite a feat in itself.
I like to feel I'm quite tough.
Yeah.
But my last fight, like I said, I was a 4-1 underdog in the bookies, I think.
Right.
And I can see why my opponent has fought on TV quite a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, very good fights, very good fighter. He's a good fighter himself. He's a very good fighter. So not a lot of people gave me a chance in that fight.
because your face wasn't as nice as his kind of thing.
It's one of them things like. If you it doesn't matter how good you are, if you ain't had that TV exposure, the bookies always favour the TV fighter. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And obviously they messed up because they lost a lot of money.
In came Lucas.
Yeah,
Bam.
But
what's your thought? What goes through your head when you knock someone out? So I know you've had obviously 18 wins, 5 of those have been KOs. What goes through your head when you knock someone out? Is that like the ultimate satisfaction as a boxer?
I think like the adrenaline you get.
Yeah.
When either they're down, they don't get up, or the referee jumps in.
Yeah.
And
stops
the fight. That's the best feeling. Like,
obviously. Do you ever worry that like they're just not going to open their eyes again? I mean, I'm guessing you wouldn't be done for murder though, if that worst case scenario. No, right? You're protected.
We're covered for that with the British Boxing Control.
No doubt.
Yeah. Like, I've injured people in sparring and they've had to retire. Like, so I've sparred another pro and after.
Do you ever feel bad about that, or is this just part of?
Well, I felt terrible. I felt terrible, but at the end of the day, we know what we signed up for.
Yeah, as do the other people that you're sparring against.
And if that happened to me, I'd be gutted. But at the same time, it's what I chose to do. I wouldn't hold anything against the person who done it or anything like that, because at the end of the day, this is a sport. It's a skill. It's art. It's not just a street fight. It's completely. Yeah. So I wouldn't. I know what I signed up for, kind of thing.
And I suppose that's why it's so important, isn't it, that it's all done, legitimately in the right way, and that people are, signed up. Because I know that there's a lot of people that kind of get their licenses or whatever in a very kind of rookie way, right?
Yeah.
But these types of scenarios where people do get hurt, and it is just part and parcel. That's why it's so important that people are licensed correctly and insured correctly and stuff like that. Yeah. So
obviously I'm with the British Box Board Control, which is biggest and best organisation in pro boxing, especially in Europe. So we're fully covered. And
all of your opponents have to be within that same pedigree, right?
No. So there's those that obviously British opponents. All my British opponents will be.
Yeah.
But obviously, if I'm fighting a different European fighter or something like that, they're going to be.
They'll have their equivalent.
They'll have their own one.
Yeah.
But like a lot of them are not as. Obviously strong and powerful and as good as the British Box Board Control, so I don't know what they have to go through to get their licence. But like it's quite tough to get a British Box Board Control licence.
Is it really?
Yeah, you have to do all these different things, and they just give licences out where like some of these little countries no one's really heard of, that could be the case.
You've got to be a little bit kind of curious about it.
Yeah.
So I know that you're Pompey born and bred. I know obviously I've known your dad pretty well my whole life actually. He's 10 or so years older than me. Used to knock around with my brothers and stuff, so he's known me since I was probably in nappies. We shouldn't be picturing that really, but so you're Pompey born and bred, and I know that your dad's been obviously such a huge part of your career. He's your coach, right? And does he manage you as well? So tell me a bit about your early life, being born in Pompey, and like where did the whole boxing thing begin for you?
So my dad has always been a massive boxing fan, loved it, but so it all started with him really. His parents were quite strict and they didn't want him to box, so he used to sneak out to the gym and like when it was time for him to get like carded, as called, like get your license to box, he couldn't do it because his parents wouldn't sign it because they didn't know he was going to the gym.
I didn't know this.
So he didn't have his first amateur fight till he was like 19, I think. By that time he already had my brother, and then I think he had 6 amateur fights, that's all he had. And then he had like 2 or 3 kids at home, he just thought it's not worth it.
Which is now 7.
Yeah. So it was like, it was too much, so he just packed it in. So he had 6 amateur fights, that's all. He always brags that he was undefeated, but and then he's made friends with other fighters and pro boxers, and he just like helping them out really. So he had pro boxer friends who he just run with or helped out on the pads or drove them to the gyms because he loved to be around boxing. And that's how we got into it really. So by the time obviously Mikey was old enough to walk, he put a pair of boxing gloves on him, put boxing on the TV. And to be honest, I used to put boxing gloves on and stuff as well, but it was always Mikey who was going to be the boxer.
Okay.
It was always Mikey.
It wasn't necessarily your part.
No, so like I used to, don't get me wrong, I used to go to the gym, but I basically just followed them to the gym. So my dad, when I was a little kid, my dad still trained, and then Mikey would train alongside him, and then I would just go along and hit the bag and just watch and whatever. and I used to go dance and stuff like with my sister.
Really?
Yeah. So I was never supposed to be.
What type of dance?
So street dancing.
Oh,
and
okay,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah. And yeah, so it was never going to be me. And then when I was about 10, my brother would have been 12, 13. We was training in Guildford. And my dad just used to like drop us in, you'd go out on the phone, or sit in the car, whatever. And he'd come in one day, and I was sparring.
Okay.
And first time he'd ever seen me
goodness.
boxing, and he's like, "Well, yeah, you can actually."
You saw the magic.
Yeah, kind of thing. And then after that day, he was like, "Oh yeah, you're boxing now."
Oh wow.
So then.
Had you already kind of fallen in love with it yourself by this point anyway?
But I don't think I did. No.
Like you looked at it more as like something to do rather than.
Yeah, it's more like my dad's love and my brother's love really at that point. Obviously, when I started, like, I was in the gym and I'm sparring. Like, I was sparring at Guildford, and all the kids in Guildford Amateur Boxing Club were very good fighters.
Okay.
And I'm holding my own with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like this lad who's like these lads has probably been boxing since I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
I'll probably put the gloves on, but like this is the first time I'm proper like doing it. Well, Mikey beat me around the living room and stuff. So
you did tell us about that.
And yeah, once I was like, no, I was holding my own with these lads, and I had a bit of natural talent there.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the sport really. So that's when
kind of built your confidence.
Yeah, kind of. So like, knocked the dancing on the head and
focused on the boxing.
Yeah.
Did you go to school like during the secondary or like around this time when you were?
I was a naughty boy in school.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, tell us. What school did you go to? Because I know you've sort of lived in town.
Yeah.
Also spent some time in Lee Park.
So yeah, so
town,
I was
right?
like, born in Portsmouth. When I was about 3 or so, we moved out of town to Lee Park for like about 8-9 years or something like that, and then moved back to Portsmouth after. But so yeah, I went to all the little like primary schools in Lee Park, and I just getting kicked out of them. And then I went. I wasn't allowed to go to like a mainstream senior school, so I went to like
Harbour, like that.
I went to Harbour. I went to one in Lee Park, and then when I moved back to Portsmouth, moved to Harbour.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. Well, it is. I didn't like bullies in school. That was the main thing. So if someone was bullying another kid or being racist or something, I'd step in. And obviously, I was in a boxing gym all the time, so I'd just punch him really.
Yeah.
And you can't be doing that when you're a kid in school. And
did you end up going to school like through to being 16, or did you leave?
I did.
Before?
I did.
You did.
So I was in Harbour, and then one day I was like, I don't want to stay here.
Yeah.
It's all these like naughty kids and stuff. I was naughty, but I
were
was,
you more like cheeky naughty? Rather than like it's not like you have like horrific childhood trauma and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
That was it. And like, and then I behaved for a while, and they said I'm going to a mainstream school, so I went to Mayfield for a bit. I went to Mayfield, but I just couldn't cope. Like, I went from a school like Harbour with 20-30 pupils in it, where they lock you in all each room, you can't get through it, and like, to school 1,000 pupils, where like, it was like a playground to me, to be honest. And I was just messing about the whole time there. And then they sent me back to Harbour after about a year.
They were like, no.
Yeah, obviously they kept an extra eye on me because I come from Harbour anyway, so I probably wouldn't have got away with as much as other kids.
Is it quite? I guess now, like with hindsight, is it quite easy to see how you could have gone like way off the rails? Especially being at a school like Harbour, where everyone you're around does have that kind of naughty streak in them. Yeah. If it weren't for boxing.
Yeah, so I went for my dad really.
Yeah.
If my dad went in my life, then I don't know what I'd be doing, to be honest.
It happens so often, doesn't it?
He always kept me
on a straight and narrow.
On a straight and narrow, really. Obviously, I was a naughty kid, but I just think now, like, if I was a naughty kid with my dad in my life, if I didn't have my dad in my life, I don't know what I'd be doing. Like, but yeah, like little things like I never swore in front of my dad once, still to this day.
Really?
Yeah, like I wouldn't dare swear in front of my dad. Little things,
that's so
little things like that. Like
because you and your brother lived with your dad, right? So when your mum and dad split up, you went and lived with your dad.
So when they first split up, I lived with my mum.
Yeah.
And then my brother went with my dad.
Yeah.
And then my dad came and got me one day and took me.
Oh really?
He actually took me from a park. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, so,
oh wow.
So basically,
do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
How old were you at that point?
12, I'd say.
Oh wow.
So
what? Because he didn't feel like you were being looked after properly.
What it was is love my mum to pieces.
Yeah.
But like if I say I want to go boxing, don't worry, don't have to go.
Okay.
And that's what it was like when my dad said, no, you're going boxing kind of thing.
Right.
And obviously, because I was living with my mum, I think what happened was my mum called me, I was out with my friends.
Yeah.
And she was like, wait, what training later? What training? You go? And I was like, nah, I don't want to go, mum. She was like, alright, no worries.
I'm at the park with my mates.
Yeah, that's what happened. And then
your dad walked up at the park and was like, I don't think so, mate.
I was in the park, and I remember in the park, and it was getting a bit dark. It was getting a bit dark in the park. And then all of a sudden, like, I think we're kind of stuck in the mud or something like that.
Like you do.
Yeah, something like that. And then all I heard was my dad's voice saying, is Lucas here? And I was facing the opposite direction, so I just froze, hoping it's not a bit dark. Yeah, it's a bit dark. It was a bit dark, so I thought. And then all the people in the park was like, yeah, he's there. And I was thinking, no. And then I turned around and he's like, oh, come on, come with me. Obviously, he knew I went in the gym because Mikey was in the gym.
Okay, you were at the park.
Yeah. So I was like, no, I'm not going with you. And he's like, oh, come on, son. And I was like, no, I'm not going with you.
Oh.
He jumped the fence, chucked me over his shoulder, run to the car, chucked me in the car.
Oh, wow.
Drove back to Portsmouth, and I lived in Portsmouth ever since. Yeah.
Awesome. What a legend, though. Like, you just think, like, the amount of guys out there that kind of shy away from their responsibilities, and especially with young boys, when you're at that age of like 11, 12, the hormones start kicking in. It's such an important part, like it's such an important time in your life. And like the amount of dudes, especially in Pompey, well, everywhere I know, but there are a lot of them in Pompey, right, who just shy away from that, like, because it does take dedication, it does take hard graft. As a parent, I've got an 11-year-old son, so we're hitting that hormone stage, and like you said, it's that thing of, no, I don't want to do that, mum. Well, no, you have to do it. Because if you let those good habits slide, even just for a few weeks, it can be such a slippery slope, right? Yeah,
that's it, exactly. So I reckon if my dad ever took me from the park that day, I probably wouldn't be boxing now. So
it's a good memory then, isn't
it? But it's funny, like, I just told him my dad kidnapped me. Dad kidnapped me from the park.
That's how you picture it, definitely. Like maybe there's an argument that's happened between the parents or something, you know, but it was all in love and and that. So I mean, big up Michael Ballingall Senior. Senior. Because legend. He's done really good by you, hasn't he? And I know he's gone on to have obviously lots of other children, lots of little girls in there as well. And aren't you a dad yourself?
I am, yeah.
You are. Tell me what's it like being a dad? How many kiddies you got?
I've got a daughter. She's 6, Freya.
She's quite close in age to Mikey's.
About a year apart. Nice. She looks up to Mikey's daughter.
That's lovely, isn't it?
And it's amazing. It's the best thing in the world. Like boxing, I was always boxing for myself, and then obviously when I have my daughter, it's all like I want to provide for her now. So it gives you that extra push, I think.
Because you've had shorts with Freya.
So I used to have Lucas on the front of all my shorts. For the until I had Freya. Now every pair of shorts I've had since Freya for the last 6 years has Freya on.
Does she watch you?
No, I don't think she's at that age yet.
She's very young.
She's a bit like a tomboy and stuff. Like,
do you think she would box?
Don't know if I would want her to be honest.
That's what Mikey said as well, actually.
Boxing is a very hard sport.
And
very few make earn money out of it. So I wouldn't ever want my kid to go that route. I'd rather get a good education and
do something else.
A proper stable job.
How do you find I guess like what can be a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to like the sponsorship side of things? And obviously being pro, that means that it's your full-time job, right? So your costs are covered by the fact that you're a pro boxer. How do you find the sponsorship element? Is that something that can be a bit of a journey?
So a lot of people think if you're a professional boxer, you've got money. Like a professional football player, as soon as you become professional,
like you're getting paid the same every week.
With a professional boxer, that's not the case. Unless you was really like an Olympian or like a high class amateur, fight for GB. When you turn pro, you get your contracts with,
or like sponsorship deals, brand deals, that type of stuff. I suppose that's when you can make like really big bucks.
A lot of obviously these big TV fights, when they because they were good amateurs, they earn it, to be honest. They went to the Olympics, won a medal. So when they turn pro, they're kind of set really, because they're signed with these big promoters. And they get paid good money straight away. All these brands and people going towards them, giving them, chucking them stuff. So that they have it easy. And then you got us fighters, and we're like, me and Mikey would say we was the nearly boys in the amateurs. We got to I'll get to the semi-finals every year, and you lose a close fight against the lads from like the big London club, because we're from Portsmouth. Close fight, you're not getting the decision. and that's the same as Mikey. He was getting semi-finals, he got to a final and stuff, and we never won a national title.
Okay.
But we was good enough to do it.
Yeah.
So when we turned pro, we had to do it the hard way.
Right.
And we had to sell tickets to fight on the small shows.
Okay.
And then you build yourself up, bigger, and then you get more sponsors jump on
That's
and stuff.
a lot of graft, isn't it?
It is, and I feel like you need to have the ability, but you need mental strength more than anything.
Yeah.
To be a ticket seller, a professional boxer, is very hard. I think my dad said this before. He'd done some research. He said, out of like all these fighters building themselves up on the show, only like something like 5% of them will make it to 10 fights or something like that.
Wowza.
It's hard. Like.
I think the difference with you and your brother though, and this isn't obviously a blanket statement for all boxers out there, so please don't judge me, but like you guys are bright. Like you're obviously very good boxers, but you also, obviously you've got those morals and that respect level, but you've also got like high IQs. Do you know what I mean? Like you're bright. Like when it comes to the business side of things, and like you said, you understand the fact that you've not just got to be in the gym like training, you've got to be able to be, I guess, charming for the sponsorships and the ticket sales. People buy from people type thing.
I like to think I'm just a nice person anyway. I don't feel like I put on something
a show,
just for them to like me. But like without sponsors, it'd be very, very hard to get to the level. Like Mikey went and fought in America at the top of the sport. And if you didn't have them sponsors early on, you wouldn't have got there. And same as me now, like my sponsors, like obviously I'm wearing a t-shirt now with all my sponsors on.
Yes,
so like,
I love it.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing. It helps so much. I've been full-time boxing for 7-8 years now. Which is a long time, and I should be a lot further on in my career now, but like I said, my bad luck, it's not my fault, but but I'm blessed to have the sponsors to help me
get to where you want to be.
And train full time,
going.
Because I wouldn't be if I didn't have the sponsors, I wouldn't be full time now.
No.
I would still, even though I've been pro 9 years, I'd still be working.
And I can't imagine like how tough that must be. It must, like, not being able to put like your full heart and soul into something that you love. Have you had sponsorship from the minute you turned pro, so you've never had to like kind of do both, or has there been a time where you've had to do both?
The first 2 years as a pro, I worked full time. I was doing wood flooring for a while, but the hours was ridiculous. I was doing like 18-hour days some days.
So how do you then find time to train?
I didn't. So me and my dad fell out, to be honest. That's the first time we fell out. What happened is I said I've never swore in front of my dad before. We had an argument.
Taking it back now.
Was the argument in the gym. And I was basically I was working. I had to. Do you know what I mean? I had to pay rent. I had to. I love boxing. Boxing was my life, but it wasn't paying me money. So I had to work. So I was doing crazy hours, and I wasn't making it in the gym a lot at the time. So my dad was like, "Listen, you need to change it." And I think one day I was like, "Listen, I'll definitely be in the gym today. I'll make it on time." And I think I was like 10 minutes late or something.
Right.
And so he was just angry straight away. And we got in the gym and we just butted heads and we had an argument. And I swore in front of him for the first time in my life. And the whole gym went quiet. And then he went, "Get out," and I got out. And I remember it was my friend's birthday, and I said I'd meet him in a pub afterwards. And I went in the pub, met him there, and I was just crying at the table.
Because you felt like you disappointed your dad.
I was just angry. It was an anger cry. Like I was like, I just had a big argument with my dad, like all this, and I went to go home, and we had a boxer stand at our house at the time because he had a fight coming up. And when he had a fight coming up, he used to stay at ours, so my dad could keep an eye on him and make sure he trained properly. And he messaged me saying, "I won't come back if I was you."
Box.
I was like, "What?" And he went, so he met me at the end of the road with a bin bag and my clothes.
Oh wow.
And I had to move out. I didn't speak to my dad for like 4 months, I think.
Oh, wow. How old were you at this point? Like 18, 19?
Yeah.
God.
I didn't speak to him. I didn't speak to my dad.
So how did you come back together? So during that 4 month period, were you just working and not going to the gym?
I went to the gym,
So at that point, you must have been depressed.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't ideal, like, at all. Obviously, I was just working. Obviously, I feel like if I had a fight date, my dad would have contacted me. If my dad offered me a fight for me, we probably would have made up, and he would have said, "We got a fight." I would have got back to the gym. But it's kind of like he was going to make the first kind of move. I didn't have a fight coming up or anything, so I was just working. And then, he got attacked. He got attacked and ended up in hospital. And he sent me a picture of him in the hospital bed.
Okay, that's a bit of a wake up call, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's how we first spoke. And it's been fine since. But yeah, that was the only time I ever saw in front of him. I won't do it again.
No. But you come back together, and then obviously not long after that, you must have gone pro then. So
I was pro at the time.
Oh,
that's
wow.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it was early on in my pro career. Yeah.
Bloody hell! I thought you were talking about like just before you kind of like made that change.
I think I had one pro fight maybe.
Oh wow.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
So like. But that's why he was so angry that I couldn't make it to the gym
because he's like, you've reached this level, you've now got to take it more seriously.
And that's what it is.
It's that juggle, isn't it?
Yeah. So after that, I left that job and I got a job what was set hours.
Okay.
So I know
when you come in, when you're going, have your structure routine.
So I had that job for a few months.
Yeah.
And then I got offered a sponsorship.
Okay.
HSBM.
Big up HSBM.
They and they offered me a full-time sponsorship.
That's incredible, isn't it?
But they said guaranteed a year. So they offered Mikey first.
Oh, really?
But they said Mikey was working an office job at the time, and I think either Tiana was just born or Molly was pregnant with Tiana, and he could take the risk of only a year just in case, then have to find employment again. So he didn't take the sponsorship. And I thought I'll take it, and it's been like 7-8 years now.
That's incredible, isn't it? And such loyal supporters of you guys.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's it.
Was there a relationship there before that? Like, was it a case of not what you know but who you know type thing?
It was. So the two partners, Ben and Tommy, do Pompey lads.
Okay.
Tommy's one of my dad's like childhood friends.
Yeah.
And they wanted to put money into like an athlete,
okay.
like a local athlete, and and that's how it happened. And they've been supporting ever since. Like still now, they sponsor Mikey as well. Now they have been sponsoring Mikey for years as well.
So such a big investment.
They've been supporting us for a long time now, and they're literally our bread and butter. So.
And what is HSBM?
It's a building contractor. So
okay.
So
amazing.
So obviously they're my main sponsors.
We'll have to tag them up.
Yeah, they've got like an Instagram.
They're not down with the kids.
Yeah. So,
well, clearly they are, but in different ways.
But then all my other sponsors who help me per fight, sponsors come and go. That's the thing, and I think every sponsor.
That's what I mean by like the roller coaster ride of it, you know.
I've probably had about 40 different sponsors in my career, and about 50% of them will only last one fight, maybe or maybe 1 year, if that. But obviously, I'm grateful for every sponsor who's come on board. Like every 20 quid helps. Do you know what I mean?
It all adds to living your dream.
Yeah, so
then being a part of that journey.
Yeah, exactly. So whether how long or how much they've supported me, I'll always
be grateful.
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of my sponsors help her fight, or they'll just one-off payment to help with something. Yeah. And I've got a good team of sponsors currently.
Who manages that? Like, who reaches out? Like, just as an outsider, you do it yourself?
I do. Yeah. So kind of like if I've got a fight coming up.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of sponsors put out, and I'll do a post up, and then people see the post.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and then they'll contact me, or like someone knows someone who might, and they'll jump on board.
Yeah. But you've got to be like forthcoming yourself. You know, you can't just kind of sit in a corner and hope that they'll find you.
Yeah, and it's horrible to ask, to be honest. Like, it's not nice, but it's got to be done. Yeah.
I mean, no matter what career you're in, really, a lot of careers, there's an element of business development, there's an element of sales. You know, and so they technically, you know, like come to my shop and buy some stuff. Like, you know, it's just, and you've got to use social media and marketing, I guess, as that main point of contact. To the outside world. Yeah, that's it. What does the future look like for you then? What's the plan at the moment? So you don't have a fight date right now. Yeah. Is that going to change, do you reckon?
Well, hopefully. Obviously, my dad's manager, he's on the case now. Yeah. The thing is, I've taken hard fights for little to get to where I am now.
Okay.
I'm in a position now where I deserve a big fight. So I'd rather wait a little bit longer to get the fight I deserve than just take anything just to keep active. Because I've done that before. I've taken fights. You need a fight, okay, I'll fight. But not much has come from it.
And when you say big fight, what does that mean?
I've a big TV platform.
Okay, what, like Sky Sports? That
Sky,
yeah,
Design, BT, any of them. So I have a big TV platform. Because once I'm a TV fighter, 100%. Like, I'm exciting. So put me on TV, people's going to want to watch me. So put me on TV, I'll win. They'll want me back. They'll sign me. I'm confident that will happen. So so either that. Or financially a good payday. Like I've took good fights for little money, and now I deserve to get paid now. So that's what either one of them two, or a bout. But the bout comes with the TV and the money anyway. So like,
have you got anyone in your sights?
It's not really. Obviously, I'm the same as my brother now. We're in the same weight category.
Would you guys ever?
No.
Is that a silly question?
It's never happened before.
No.
Like,
but has it ever happened before that there are two brothers in the same?
Yeah. So
because you're both in the top 10 as well, aren't you?
Yeah. In
That's
Britain.
insane,
Yeah. So I think the most famous one is the Klitschko brothers.
Okay.
They dominated the heavyweight division for like 10 years. The pair of them. I think there's 4 world titles in boxing at each weight, and Vladimir had 3. And Vitaly had the other one, and they wouldn't fight each other, so they could never be undisputed. Out of all 4, because they wouldn't fight each other. It
kind of goes against the grain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like to even watch two brothers fight, it goes against all tradition.
It's weird though. Like obviously, like so, I don't reckon it would ever be sanctioned anyway. So like the British Boxing Board control, I don't reckon like it's morally wrong, isn't it? Like fighting like family, but. Obviously, me and my brother like spar in the gym hundreds of rounds for free.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm good off us money to do it. Why not?
Yeah. Oh God.
Like, but I think like something like
it
that.
Would have to be a lot of money though.
Yeah,
right?
I think because it never happened before though, I reckon it would like that could be like a frown park thing. That, do you know what I mean? That could
be massive.
Yeah. But yeah.
You'd have to like switch off though, surely. Like,
I think
that picture of Mikey when you won your fight recently after the wrist situation, and there's a picture of him like hugging you. It's like the cutest thing ever. And actually, he said when he came on the podcast that he was your biggest fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just couldn't imagine getting past the psyche of it, like getting past
the. Yeah, I think
to put masks on or something.
Obviously, yeah. Like, I think for me and my brother. Is what it is. We're fighters at the end of the day. Like, I think it'd be more hard for my dad than anything. I think, but it would never happen anyway. But we're each other's biggest supporters. Like, when I lost, so I went out to Russia. No one came. I just knew my daddy went. No one come with us.
Right.
That was in COVID times. And I was up against it straight away because they built the show. The name was called Cold Wars. So they made it like a race thing straight away. But then that's right. I believe myself too much. I'm undefeated. I was like, listen, I don't care who. I didn't know much about the guy. And I fought this guy, and obviously he's from there. Everyone like Ballingall spoke English. The judges are all from there. I fought this guy. I fought outboxing quite comfortably, and he got a decision. And it wasn't even that he got a decision. He got a decision on scorecards so wide. Like, it was like I would have to knock him out to get a draw kind of thing. And
so it was almost like it was already decided. It was already set.
Kind of, yeah. Like they didn't want me to win. Obviously, like it looked good for the show that Russians versus English, but like they never wanted me to win. Obviously, I tasted defeat for the first time. But also, no one really wanted to fight me before that, so I took it as a blessing because now, like, when I went back to England, like the phone was ringing a bit more. Like, Lucas lost his. He's obviously not that good. He went out and got beat. Obviously, people who saw the fight would say otherwise. Say no, I won the fight. But so then the phone was calling. But at that time, like I said, I was stepping up in weights and I was trying to stay at that weight. And then I can't make it. So I step up. Basically, I was mandatory challenger for the English title at lightweight for 18 months or something. It was a while. But then the fight wouldn't happen. Like, I think the champion's injured, and then COVID, and the fight wasn't happening. And then I was planning to step up in weight. And then we got the phone call saying, we've got a date if you want to fight the English champion. And and was, you can't make the weight anymore. And I was like, yeah, but I've been waiting so long.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it. So then I got a nutritionist on board, and we done some tests. And the test basically said, like, you can't make this weight. The test basically said, like, yeah, you're not this weight. And I just went, well, I'm doing it. So I probably the best camp I've had, to be honest. I was the fittest
to get you to where you needed to.
Yeah, I was in really good shape. But then, like, it doesn't matter how hard I trained or what I ate, like,
Are you really tough on the nutrition side of things? Is that something you're really passionate about?
I think, yeah, so...
In the science,
so to be honest, before that, I just, you know what I mean, I wasn't that clued up, I'd say, before that fight. Listen, I knew I had to eat, like, my healthy foods, my proteins, my carbs, my veg, and get my vitamins in and stuff like that, like, basic food knowledge, really. So most of the time, every day I'd eat the same food, to be honest. I'd have pie for breakfast, and I'd have, like, chicken, rice and veg for lunch, and then, like, similar for dinner. Like, it's boring. It's very boring. And then I got the nutritionist on board. We done that camp, and I was in great shape. Like, I had my team I had around me for that camp. I had so I had my nutritionist, my S&C coach, and I was in the best shape. And then I had a guy who was doing, like, breathing work with me, and I'd done all these tests, and, like, I was very fit. But then I still had to make that weight. So fight week was very hard because I had to lose a lot of weight in fight week just to make that weight. And I thought, that's alright. Like, you weigh in the day before, so I thought it's fine. The next day, by the time I fight, I'll be back to normal. That didn't happen. I made the weight because I was a professional. I made the weight I needed to make. All my teams look at me like, "Carl, you look terrible." Like, next day, obviously I was rehydrated, I was eating good, but I still felt a bit
not right.
Yeah, I think I felt a lot better than I did the day before the weigh-in, but, like, it wasn't till the first bell went in the first round. Like, my reactions were slow. I don't know, sharpness of my punches.
Is that because of the pressure you put your body under in such a short period of time?
I think I cut so much weight, and I just didn't have enough time to recover fully.
That makes sense.
I done it the best way I could. Like, I had a great team around me. I done it the safest way I could. It was very safe, but, like, it was just too much for me. My body shouldn't have got down to that weight anymore. And then I like, from the first round, what I'm good at, I couldn't do. So went back to the corner after the first round, but that's like, listen, like, you're just gonna have to go forward and give it to him. And one thing was, I was really fit and I was strong. So I just went forward for the next 9 rounds and just pushed him back. And to be honest, I thought I won that fight as well. But the thing is, he was the champion. It was up his way. It was a close fight. Don't get me wrong. I thought I won it by a round or 2, but he got decision by a round, which is what it is.
So it's that one and the one in Russia that equate to the 2 losses, but you've never been KO'd, which is incredible. So tell me about a fight that you won, where it's, like, your most memorable.
I'd have to say it's my last one, just because
the lead up to it.
Yeah, like, to be honest, like, it's the biggest show I've fought on. As in, I've been headlining my last 4 fights. I've been headline of the show, but they're all quite small shows. This was the biggest I've headlined so far. The production was really good. It was the new promotions that we worked with.
So it's all like the lights and
it was really good.
And glam
like,
type stuff,
So
you would associate with, like,
the big So then, like, even though it was a small company who just made who just coming up, it made you feel like it was one of the big ones. It was very good. I went to London a couple of times to do some media days.
Amazing.
And then fight week, we had a press conference. We had all this stuff, and it was really good.
Yourself moments.
And obviously, to be honest with you, I was there to lose. They didn't bring me in a win. Like, I only started realising that after. So the fight got made. It's a 50-50 fight.
Right.
He's not with us, you weren't with us. This is an equal playing field. Then after, like, as the weeks were going, I was thinking, that's lies. They want him to win.
Wow.
Like, they don't want me there. Like,
what does that do to your, like, soul, for want of a better word, like, when that becomes, like, common knowledge to you?
The thing is, like, I've never been given favours in my career anyway, really. So, like,
it just kind of powers you on.
I just feel like whether they want him to win or not, they're not in the ring with him. It's me and him.
Very true.
And
you heard it here.
So wasn't ideal, but I thought, well, when I beat them, they're going to want me, aren't they?
Precisely.
And then we had a press conference and stuff, like, He was, yeah. But he was looking past me, to be honest. I thought he thought like he's had a lot bigger fights.
Yeah.
He's fought at this weight before. I've never fought at the weight. I've come up in weight.
Yeah.
He just thought he was going to walk through me, to be honest. He just thought he was going to destroy me.
Little did he know.
Yeah, and got in there. I just wanted it more, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just wanted it more than him.
You were ready for it.
Yeah, and he's a good fighter, but I was just outworking him. I was bullying him about, like, and I was winning the rounds.
Yeah.
But then in the last round, I was knackered.
Really?
And my dad went, listen, like, no matter whatever, we don't know what the judges are saying. He went, no matter what these judges are saying, you've won this fight. Go out there and have a good last round. I went, yeah, I will.
Like, enjoy it kind of thing.
Went out there, got dropped. Got dropped in the last round. More tight. It wasn't like I got hit and I went down.
Super dramatic.
Yeah, it was just like I was just tired, kind of thing. And I went down, and then as soon as I went down, I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I think I'm like an idiot. Like,
you waited for this.
Yeah, this is the last round. And this could cost you the fight.
Yeah.
Got up, got through the round, and then I won. I won unanimous decision. So, but
how did the wrist feel after that?
Very sore.
Oh.
Very sore.
How is it now? Is it completely? Do you ever feel it twinge from time to time?
Yeah, it's good.
Have you had it checked out?
No, I haven't. I haven't had it checked out again. The problem what it was is like they said, 4 weeks, whatever, and then it should get back to normal. But obviously, I need a punch.
Yeah.
If I'm punching, it's not going to heal properly.
Yeah.
So it probably healed a bit longer than it should have.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm good now. Yeah.
Good.
So
ready for the next fight.
Yeah. So like people, like my camp was terrible, to be honest. I was fit. I'd done everything I could do, but when you're going through half your camp with one hand, it's not going to be the best. And I had a terrible camp, and I still went in there as a 4-1 underdog in the boogies and beat the guy. So that, like, hopefully that puts some
perspective on it.
Yeah, and people can look at that like, whoa, like this Lucas has beat him, like
what he's achieved.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for a big one now. I deserve it. So
you do.
Obviously I've got a belt, so if someone wants that belt, then obviously they'll offer me something, or
come and fight me for it.
Or we'll take another belt.
Have you been down to Fratton Park at all to have your picture with your belt, or somewhere that's like significant to Pompey?
So I actually haven't, to be honest.
Yeah, you should.
Obviously I've been down Fratton Park a few times. Like, I think I was 19, I walked on the pitch at half time. That was a good moment.
Yeah, I bet.
I was introduced on the pitch at half time and everyone clapping.
That's so cool.
And I've been there a few times since. And me and Mikey went up there and went into all the suites for pre-game and like.
Do you live in Pompey now?
Yeah.
What does Pompey mean to you?
I'm very proud to be from Portsmouth, to be honest. And I love it. And sometimes I'm just going around and I just feel like take it for granted. I actually love it. I love Pompey and like I can't ever see myself moving out of Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Like we're not far anyway. Like a lot of people say, "How want to get out of my?" A lot of people say,
I managed to get as far as Drayton.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Like I can see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like, that's what I've got to do. Like I did just outside. Yeah. But like.
I'm still PO postcode.
Yeah.
if you're in PO6, you're still like Pompey. You know?
Yeah. So like. So I love Pompey. Like, I love going to watch football and stuff.
You're like proud. What do you do to like chill? You know, because it's a lot of pressure, isn't it? You know what you do for a living, and it's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, a lot of not just mentally but physically. Like, what do you do to just like chill out?
So I love the cinema.
Oh, do you? Have you seen Twisters?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got a bit of cheese in there, but you'd expect that from an American movie.
I watch everything. I think. About 3-4 years ago, I went to the cinema 54 times in a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you go down to view at Gunwharf?
Yeah, mainly.
You've got to. Once you've had the recliner, you can't.
True. It's good. But I'll watch anything. Like, and I think that one year, I went with my friend a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, like all my friends, they go out drinking a lot, and like.
Yeah. So you've got to find some.
So I'd go cinema, and that's my thing, and. I'd watch anything, and that year I think there's a lot of good ones out. And
54.
Yeah.
Have you got like a cinema pass?
They don't do that in View.
Do they not?
No, Odeon does it, but not View. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind you, I always do the O2 2 for £9.
Yeah.
My little boy we homeschool.
Okay, yeah.
So we like go in on like say a Tuesday afternoon when there's like no one in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. Does Frey like going?
No, don't know. It's quite annoying, really.
Give it a couple more years.
She's my kid, and I love the cinema.
Yeah.
But after halfway through a film, she's like, I want to finish it, and that like us.
Charlie used to be like that.
We watched the film the other day, and she didn't moan actually.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I think.
Really?
I've took her a lot. I've taken her a lot, but that was the first time she didn't moan.
What movie was it?
Harold and the Purple Crown, I think it's
I
called.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and like she didn't moan at it at all.
Give it a couple more years.
Yeah.
She'll appreciate it more, definitely. I think once Charlie got hooked, probably about 2 years ago now, and he's like 11 now.
Yeah.
But before that, it's exactly the same. It's boring, mum. You know, or he'd like go eat his nachos, and then be like, I want to go now.
Yeah.
Whereas now he actually enjoys it and he loves it. So, what would you say is the most politely rebellious thing you've ever done?
Probably when I went out to Belarus, I was undefeated. I couldn't fight. I went out to Belarus knowing it was going to be up against me.
Yeah.
And I
just went anyway.
I was winning anyway. Yeah.
So you're mentally strong.
Very. Like that's probably my best strength. I don't care who I fight. I just know I've got a little bit more to beat them.
Yeah.
I'll do what I need to do to win, and I proved that in my last fight because he was a very good boxer. He was strong, more experience, and I'll still beat him. So,
what do you think about people out on the street fighting for no reason? Like, just
it's silly. It's silly. Like you obviously you can get paid for it. Like do you know what I mean? Just up in the gym, start boxing, and get paid for it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's horrible. I don't really like going out in Portsmouth. And
so you
stuff
don't get stuck in sticky situations.
Yeah, it's so easy to.
Yeah.
Like I've got friends who's been jumped recently and stuff, and I just think like some people go out literally to fight and fight.
Have a punch up.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. Might be something that's going on at home and it's triggers when they go out and stuff.
Because I suppose the difference with you guys and, you know, being a pro boxer is that, you know, if you go out and your mates have had a drink and they bump into the wrong people, and that could be your career over, right?
Yeah.
Like,
because you're going to protect your friends.
Yeah.
And it's
natural instinct.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm a boxer, but I'm a man as well.
Yeah.
So like,
it's nature.
I want people to care for if I see them in trouble. Like I'm going to try and help them. Like.
So it's better to just kind of like
try and stay away from it.
Stay off the streets and go to the cinema.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So some quick fire questions for you then. So no right or wrong answers, obviously. Fruit or veg?
Fruit.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
Mango.
Oh, literally my favourite.
Yeah.
Love mango for the win. Do you ever have like mango smoothies?
Sometimes, yeah.
I feel like if you put mango into a smoothie, it just changes the
Yeah.
whole game. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Music or movies? I feel like we've answered that,
Movies,
right?
yeah.
What's your favourite movie of all time?
I'll tell you what, I really like Harry Potter.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
My
So
little boy's obsessed.
yeah, I love Harry Potter.
Have you read the books?
I haven't.
Have you seen? No, get this right. Minalima books. Okay, so I'll send you a picture. So it's basically Harry Potter books, but like when you open them up, you say you got the writing, and then you've also got, how do I explain it? Like pop up. So like it's interactive.
Oh right.
It is the coolest thing. Each book's about 30-40 quid, but it is the most coolest interactive way.
What they do at Harry Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter. Yeah, Minalima.
I need to read the book. Like I'm not a reader. I don't think I've read a book, to be honest. And I always say to me, I want to start reading.
Yeah.
And also I sound like Harry Potter, but I'm a fake fan because I ain't read the books.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
There's so much information in the books
that's not in the movies.
I just Google stuff. I just Google. I know a lot of stuff happens in the books just through Google. So.
Well, what I'll have to do is instead of sending you Politely Rebellious top, I'll send you a Minalima book instead.
Yeah.
We'll do that. You'll love it. Indoors or outdoors?
Oh. Indoors probably.
Yeah, just chilling. Isn't it funny? Like I
feel boring saying that, but
no, but it's just I think it's funny how sometimes as outsiders we have such a perception of how people live their lives or what they like to do, and especially people like yourself who are happy to like have a fight in the spotlight, you know. But actually, I suppose, especially if you're like training all the time and you're around other people so often, you must just like to get in your cave.
Yeah.
Just woos out. To nap or not to nap?
I've never been a napper, but I tell you what, I've been napping a lot recently.
Have you?
Yeah.
Age, you're getting closer to 30.
Yeah, but I always feel horrible afterwards. Why do I do that for?
100%.
Yeah.
Do you, if you were to like say train in the morning and then you had to say train again later in that day, do you think you could nap in between, or would it just screw you up?
Oh, I won't nap. I'll just get in bed and watch a film or something.
Yeah, just chill.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And who would you say is the greatest boxer of all time?
See, that's a hard one, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say Floyd Mayweather. And it's not just on his ability; it's his business brain.
Okay.
Like, he retired years ago and he's still making loads of money now.
Really?
A lot of boxers, they get into boxing, they earn a lot of money and they lose it all because they're silly. So not just on his ability, which obviously was undefeated, never lost, and he fought all the best. He was a multiple weight world champion.
Yeah.
So no one can say he's not top 10 best boxer ever. No one can say that. And
how did he achieve that? What's his kind of secret?
He was a good fighter. He was a top amateur. Like, he won Olympic medal.
But with the still making money now, how does Mayweather do that?
He's a brand himself, isn't he? So like, what he does now, he manages fighters. He's got his promotion, like Mayweather, so he promotes fighting as well.
Okay.
He was doing it when he was still active, because he would
yeah.
promote himself on his own shows, and so he's getting paid his wage, and he's also getting the promotion money as well.
House.
So he was his finger in his different pies when he was still active, and then now he does a lot of exhibitions now.
Right.
So people
pay to go and like see him or get something signed.
No. He'll fight some like random celebrity or like a YouTuber or something, and like go to a different country. He'll get paid millions just to have like a spar basically with someone who's, even though he's like 50 now, like the guys he's fighting are nowhere near his level, and he just plays around with them, has a little smile.
Yeah. He's got that kind of like charm and about him.
Takes 20 minutes and he's walking out with millions of pounds, and he just just from that alone, like, it's not just his boxing, which self on its own is like unreal career. So it's a perfect career. You can't ask for any more. But it's what he's doing on the side and still do to this day. Like, he's never going to go skin. Where a lot of fighters who very famous and ridiculous money got nothing now. So I'd say for him.
What do you think the future holds for you? Do you see yourself? You know, at the end of the day, you're still young, you're still early in your career. I think that there's going to be obviously so much more to come from you. But when that time comes when you're ready to not be in the ring anymore, what do you think your life will look like?
I feel like I'd always be involved with boxing in some way. Yeah. Whether like, I open up a gym or I start training my own fighters. Or managing my, like, something like that. Yeah. So I've actually applied for my second boxing trainer's license. Oh, amazing. So I can help out in the corners. Oh, wow. I've got that on the 2nd, I believe, the next month. Okay. So I can go to London, do the course, and hopefully I'll be qualified to help out in the corners. So when like, my brother's fighting, I can be in the corner with him helping, or my other teammates.
So that's already starting
to
I'd say so.
I'd say so, yeah. So I'll do that and then move on. Then eventually I'll get my actual proper trainer's license, then manager's license, and like, I'd love to have my own gym. I feel like it'd be quite popular.
Can you imagine? Like, especially as brothers, if you were to do that together, it would be, you'd blow all of them out of the water, wouldn't you?
Definitely. When it comes to like boxing, like, it wouldn't be a competition really, but I just feel like doing something, like, I do what I love now. I'll get paid to box, which is my passion, so I love it. And when I retire, a lot of boxers retire, they get depressed, and it doesn't mean that's why fighters, they box longer than they need to. And a lot of fighters should have retired years ago, but
I think it's because they don't look at the long-term plan, right? They don't look at the kind of strategic way in which you can utilise what you've learned in other ways.
It's such a high, getting your hand raised in boxing, like when that's taken away from you and you have to retire, a lot of fighters they get depressed, so they come out of retirement and like they're old now and they get beat by someone they shouldn't have fought in the first place. But then I feel like if I had my own gym, like a boxing gym, when I'm training people,
you'd be getting your highs in other ways,
and for other people, like obviously my dad a massive boxing fan, and he would have loved to turn pro when he was younger, and like, had a career in
it. It's like he's living, what's that word? Living vicariously, like, through his boys, you know? In the nicest possible way. Yeah, of course, So, and I think that I think a nice way to round up that, actually, and this podcast in its entirety, is to thank Michael Senior for turning up to the park that day and grabbing young Lucas and dragging him down to the gym. Yeah. Amazing, and I just really appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Can we hug it out? Let's hug it out. Thanks.